You are running through a forest. It is late at night and the sky is as black as pitch. The trees which surround you, jutting out of the earth like eerie monuments to a foreign god, are blotting out most of the moonlight. You do not know where you are going. You have no map, no route, no plan. You have no desire as you run safe to escape. You cannot let yourself be caught. All you can do is run on and on and on. But despite all of your hard work, your best efforts will invariably be in vain. It's already too late for you. After all, you'll never be able to escape from me. Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and yes, we are sitting to another game from ebi-hime. To be quite honest with you, what I was supposed to be playing is called The End of an Obsession. However, apparently it's connected to this game, which has been released May 2023. It's on Steam and Lynch.io, by the way. One of those links will be in the description, in case you haven't seen this game. The game is free on Steam and on Itch, and we'll be playing it as well, now. And after that we'll play the other one, The End of an Obsession. Yeah. Let us begin. Start. This should be quite interesting. You are running through a forest. Achievement unlocked in the woods. Who knows what might be waiting for you? Ooh. It is late at night and the sky is as black as pitch. Isn't this what I read in the very beginning for you? There is nothing to light your way save for the moon's milky glow. But its rays cannot reach you. Not properly. The trees which surround you, jutting out of the earth like eerie monuments to a foreign god, are blotting out most of the light. I kinda tried to piece what that sound is. I sort of can't. You cannot see where you're going. Even if you had commenced your flight at a more sensible hour, however, with the light of the sun to aid you, it would be of little use. You do not know where you're going. You have no map, no route, no plan. You're running like a frightened animal, anxious and nervy, with no destination in mind. You have no desire, as you run, safe to escape. You cannot let yourself be caught. If that were to happen, you are certain that you would be ruined. You have no choice, therefore, but to keep going, on and on and on, for your feet are screaming at you for mercy. You see, that's why you go running regularly. You have no idea how long you've been running. Time has begun to blend together. It has lost all the meaning. Something sharp snags at the hem of your skirt. Okay, but you do not have the luxury to pause and examine what has happened. Instead you tug. Your skirt tears, the sound splitting through the forest, and you stumble forward with a shocked gasp. You are free, but at what cost? At cost of destroyed skirt. Your skirt has been irrevocably damaged. It might be too late to worry about such trivial matters now, though. If you do not start running again, and soon, she will catch you. Then, your life will be over. You do not know if she's still following you, but you do not want to risk looking over your shoulder. In a way, that's the correct approach. Yes, if you look back, you're slowing yourself down. That's true. Yeah. Basically, you have to base it all on the sound, and let's face it, in an eerie forest, you would hear that. when someone is actually catching up or something like that. Yes, I've run away from people in the forests, absolutely. No, I didn't. I don't go to forests. Jesus, who would go to them? Anyway. If you were to see her, silhouetted beneath a tree, looking at you with that sickly sweet smile which once ensnared you, you'd lose what little nerve you possess. Your legs would lock up and your blood would freeze in your veins. Then you would crumple. You would fall, but you would not hit the ground. She would be there to catch you. Did she not promise, when you made that contract, that you would never be alone? Oh, interesting. You'd like to take back that silly wish of yours, but it is too late for that. Also, I think my voice might be changing a little bit. And that is because I went running myself tonight. Not from the forest, for no. But yeah. Anyway, it is too late for a lot of things. All you can do is run. Run. You run and run and run, while icy fog swirls about your feet. Ooh. It is cold enough to sub the heat from your body, and you shudder from it. It feels as though you are drowning. It feels as though you are being buried alive. Driving a car in a fog is fun, though. Your knees and your shins, meanwhile, are bleeding. You... Did you manage to fall? Huh. Or maybe there is something that is that high around that can, like, cut you a little bit when you run. You cannot endure much more of this. But if you value your life, your own life, you must. You run and you run and you run until, at long last, you reach a fork in the road. Oh. There are 3 paths which split off through the forest. Well, 4 if you count the path down which you came. You cannot exactly double back on yourself, though. Not when you have to put so much effort into running forwards. You can only press on. The 3 paths are signposted, which is something of a strange sign, given you are so deep in the forest. Dark void, maybe? You've grown accustomed to the shadows. You can just about pick out the writing on this old, dilapidated signpost, curved and slanted treatise. Okay. Your fate, if you will forgive me for sounding cliché, is in your hands. Now I wonder, which path will you take? Can I take all of them? No. Oh. Wait, there are only 6 safe spots? Oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me. I need like 6,000 of them. Oh, come on. I'm a merchant basically for saving game. Damn it. Go to the shore, go to the village, go to the castle. Interesting. I mean... shore, village, castle. I feel like shore might be the least safe in that way. But also maybe it will be the safest. Who knows, maybe we'll go on some boat or something. Alright, let's do it because there is some kind of sound. I felt like someone kinda tried to say something to my ear. Anyway, so we want to go to the shore. Good idea. What will you discover there, I wonder? This night is far from over, and there are any number of adventures still awaiting you. I hope that you have prepared yourself in advance, and I do hope for your sake that you have learned how to swim. Well, you see, this is where I would change my mind and go somewhere else. I have a sneaking suspicion this skill might come in handy. On the other hand, I don't feel like swimming in the middle of the night would be a good idea. Also, you said that mist is getting around. Sounds terrible. You follow the path which leads to the shore, supporting yourself on wary, aging limbs which feel ready to snap at the knee beneath the burden of your wave. You're a little more than a wisp of a girl, but you've been running for so very long, and your feet are so very numb, you feel like a great lumbering thing. You need to lie down, and quickly. You only hope, as you continue to run, that you will find a means to escape your current predicament by the shore. You don't know what awaits you, but you have visions of a harbor extending out to the horizon, cradling a fleet of white-sailed fishing vessels. Alright. That sounds already better than having to swim. Surely there will be a kindly fisherman who will be willing to take you far, far away on his boat to a place your pursuer will not be able to find you. You can imagine, too, the face of this kindly fisherman, a face you have lifted from the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. You have thick, bushy eyebrows and a dark brown beard streaked through with grey. He will look intimidating at a glance, but he will be fiercely protective of you, just like a father. You do not know what fathers are supposed to be like, though. You're only imagining that. It is your imagination, however, which grants you the strength needed to keep going. Ooh! Oh, that's how it is. I'm digging this area. When can I move in? Yeah, I'm digging this area. You run to the shore. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods, but finally you do it. How much time, you ask? About 13 minutes. I could not answer that. I did. Did I not say that time had begun to lose all its meaning? The forest is behind you now, at least, and all the awful nightmares that lurk within it. It is still called for, and still foggy. It is still dark, too. The sun has yet to rise. You can see the moon more clearly now as it hangs above your head, round as any pearl or orb or crystal ball. The moonlight shines down upon the vertiginous cliffs which plummet sharply downwards to an... Did I hear singing? To an array of sharp spiky rocks below. You felt, upon escaping the woods, a degree of hope, but the sight of these weather-blasted cliffs gives you pause. You inhale. Then you frown. Now what are you to do? Exhale, maybe? Fine. You did not think of this plan of yours through very well. There was some singing. I knew that I've heard something. Not that you had much in the way of a plan in the first place. There is little in the way of civilization here. The cliffs are far from the village. How far? You do not know, and you cannot see any houses. Oh, come on! Right when I thought I could move in there. Damn it. Where exactly will you rest your weary head and what of your weary legs? I mean, on a boat. Right? Fitfully, you look around. There is nobody to your east, nor is there anybody to your west. There is nobody looking south, that is the way you came, and when you look to the north, the world falls away from you. The cliffs are too steep to scale and it is too dark. Naturally, there is not a soul here to help you. You are on your own. You feel so overwhelmed you could very well cry. You do not cry, however. You know that tears have never helped anyone. You got yourself into this mess. Now you need to get yourself out of it. It is with this thought in mind that you inhale a lungful of salty oceanic air. Actually, you know what? Given that it's by the ocean, I changed my mind. I don't want to go there. No. By the ocean, no. Too much trouble coming from the oceans, to be honest. By some kind of sea, yes. Ocean, Then begin your exploration in earnest. Also, that hill, well, the middle part basically, it sort of looks a little bit as if like a blot is flowing down from it. Just a tiny bit. I mean, it is in 3 spots like that, but yeah. I bet it's the sand by basically doing that for. Anyway. Did I say begin exploration? Yeah. You keep away from the edge of the cliffs, afraid that you might slip and take a sudden, unfortunate tumble into the abyss below. You're not as attached to your mortal body as some humans are, but you do not want to die. You still care for yourself, if only a little. And it is this sense of self-preservation which compels you onwards. You glance this way and that, depressing the tall grass beneath your shoes as you search for a place of shelter. Surely there must be somewhere. You cannot see any likely-looking settlements, but... What is that? Over yonder? Could that be a roof? Oof. Dude. That's, very old building. Very old building. That's totally a wild pig, so a boar. You carry onwards, hope budding anew in your heart, until at long last you reach your destination. There is a house after all. I mean, I feel like you can hardly call this a house at this point. Like a remnant of a building. Out here in the wilds, for it doesn't at glance look very welcoming. Yeah? The solitary house that you have discovered not so far from the cliffs is rather unremarkable. It is so small and squat you cannot imagine it contains within it more than one floor. I mean, that is kinda obvious, right? That there's no one more than... Clearly there's only ground floor. The top over here, I guess it could be used for keeping some stuff if you are doing farming and so on. But it's definitely not like any living space, like kind of half a floor basically. Anyway, you cannot even imagine that it contains much more than one room. Yeah. For it is dark, it is not dark enough to mask that the cottage has something of a slant to it. It is leaning listlessly to one side, like a drunken sailor. The thatched roof, meanwhile, which tops this dwelling, has certainly seen better days. There is a hole in the thatch. There are several holes in fact, and parts of it look particularly bare, almost bald. That is rather concerning. Should it rain, you will not be properly protected from the elements. Can you really stay the night in such a place? You have some misgivings? But do your misgivings matter really when there is nowhere else to go? It is not as though you have any other options. It is with a sense of defeat, therefore, that you approach the cottage, which sticks out of the earth like a tombstone. Part of you wants to turn back, but you know that would be foolish. The windows of the cottage are dark, but that does not necessarily mean it is empty. I highly doubt someone lives in that. It is rather late at night, after all. Whoever lives here, if indeed anybody does live there, might be asleep. You can imagine the owners of this cottage will appreciate being enclosed so very late at night. You cannot let yourself worry too much about those small details, however. Otherwise you will never get anywhere. You swallow. The taste of the salty sea breeze is pungent in the back of your nostrils. But you rub the knuckles of your right fist on the door. You rub quietly at first, but you do not hear any resultant shuffling inside the cottage. Perhaps you did not use enough strength. Emboldened, you rub your knuckles on the door for a second time, more loudly this time. You wait for moments, but still you cannot hear anything. You could not wake me up with knocking like that, that's for sure. Perhaps the cottage is unoccupied after all. You knock for a third time and then wait. The third time is as a sign to charm, but for all that, your knocking goes unanswered. Well, nobody say that you did not try. More intrigued now than anxious, your fingers find the handle of the door. You pull it down and to your surprise it yields easily. The door swings back for you, as if by magic. It was almost as if this was preordained. Oof, that's creepy. Oh wait, there is underneath to that place? Or is this like the area where you could start a fire, basically? One way or another, this is creepy as hell. You step foot inside the cottage, which is very dark, and glance around. It is hard to see, given the lateness of the hour, but the cottage's interior is about as inspiring as its exterior. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Which is to say, not very. It is every bit as small and as cramped as you fancy it when you observe it from the outside. There are a few cupboards which line the walls, a wood fire, okay, I have my answer, which has since been extinguished, and a straw pallet on the floor which must function as a bed. Yeah. I checked that fire because who knows, maybe it is actually used this area. Your search is unsuccessful, however, when it comes to trying to locate other humans. Maybe that's a good thing. You cannot find another soul. Surely that is to your benefit for. If nobody else lives here, then you might as well make yourself at home. Or as at home as one can be. I suppose in a small cramped cottage such as this, with holes in the roof. You close the door behind you, then approach the straw pallet. All of a sudden you feel incredibly wary. I'm kinda curious, what's that in the wall? Like in the left wall, it's like a, I don't know, finger coming out of the wall, underneath kind of like a red trickle, like a blood maybe? What the heck? I know. I will get out of this building, to be honest. The tiredness that assails your limbs is absolute, so intense it overcomes the last of your concerns. You settle down upon the straw pallet, yawning as you do. It is not comfortable, but being able to lie down eases some of your aches and pains. Lying down, even on an uncomfortable makeshift bed such as this one, is better than standing. Unless you are able to sleep actually while standing, I guess. It is far, far better than running. Your eyelids fall shut, your lashes melting together. And soothed by the sound of the wind and the distant rolling of the waves, you fall asleep. Then you begin to dream. It is not uncommon, of course, to dream. The best and the worst of us do it. From queens in their castles to peasants sleeping in the straw. Why? Who is to say that all you have to observe tonight has not, in a sense, been a dream of its own? Would that make your nighttime fancies then a dream inside a dream? Perhaps our dreams are empty, hollow things stuck inside one another like little wooden dolls. Is that not a whimsical thought? How very droll. Your dreams, however, cannot be called whimsical, and neither are they particularly droll. They are not pure fabrications, as dreams sometimes are. Fleeting fancies which can never come to pass. Your dreams are of a rather more pernicious sort. In your dreams you are at the conservatoire, with your red hair tied back into the two improper braids. You are walking through the courtyard, clutching your books to your chest as you make your way to the library. Your head is bowed, so as not to look at the faces of your passing classmates. You do not want to meet their eyes. These girls, with their sensible braids and their sensible shoes, are merciless. You hunch your shoulders together in this dream of yours, so as not to draw their attention. But alas, it is not enough. You stumble, clumsy, think that you are, and you fall, and just like that, all eyes are upon you. They are staring at you. They are laughing at you. You lay there on the ground by the fountain, your books scattered, and your skirt in a woeful state of disarray. Your knee hurts. Is it bleeding? You examine your injured leg, trying not to cry, and as this transpires, you hear a voice. One of your classmates is calling out to you. She has acknowledged you. You look up shyly, tears bedding in your eyes, at a girl taller than you and prettier and much more refined. She extends her hand towards you. Does she mean to help you? It cannot hurt to try, can it? Hesitantly you reach out to accept her offered aid. Her fingers curl around yours tightly, perhaps too tightly. Her nails dig into your skin. It hurts. Deftly the girl pulls you to your feet. Your legs feel weak from your fall, and your knee is still aching, still bleeding. You stumble, feeling out of sorts, but you are not afforded much of an opportunity to gather your bearings. The girl's hands are on your shoulders. She's laughing at you. Then she's pushing you. The sound of the fountain and the running water which drums against its basin is, all of a sudden, very loud. It is overwhelming. It surrounds you. Then it engulfs you. It is cold as ice. You cannot breathe. The rushing of the water continues, echoing in your eardrums over and over, and then... No. You do not want to remember this. What good will it do? It is in the past, where the past ought to remain. You are never going to go back, not even in your dreams. It is this determination which forces you back in the world of the waking with a start. And you gasp like a fish as you sit upright, your eyes unnaturally wide. You feel worried from a lack of sleep, and with half-slitted eyes you glance about. It is still dark inside your cottage. Okay, already got it under my name. The sky visible from beyond the window splashed, still with stars, technically under her name. How long were you asleep? You're not sure. Your dream was so very detailed, it really did feel that you had been transported to a different time, into a different place. When you inhale, you can taste rank, fetid water in your mouth. Tentatively you pat yourself down, your fingers trailing against the front of your uniform. So vivid was your dream, you half expect to find that your clothes are damp. This is not the case, however. You are in fact perfectly dry. Well, now what are you to do? Will you go back to sleep? That sounds like the best option available to you. You were very tired, but your senses feel too overwrought all of a sudden for sleep. You do not think you could bear it. On unsteady legs you rise to your feet, then stand by the window. Was that some kind of bird? You look out to the starry sky and to the pitted moon, which hangs amongst them, and you frown. You can hear the wind outdoors, howling like an injured animal, and, more softly, the ebb and flow of the waves as they meet the cliffs. But that is not all. Uh-oh. What is that sound? Why, it is almost like singing. The voice is far away enough that you cannot pick out any individual words, nor even the individual syllables, but there is a haunting quality to it all. The singer, whoever they are, possesses quite a pretty voice, high and clear like a bell. The song is a melancholy, one which stirs your heart. Curiosity takes root inside of you, as it did during that fateful day you found that book in the library. Logically, you know, you should not go outdoors to see the source of the singing, but emotionally... that is another matter altogether. You really should have learned your lesson by now. You should know better than to go stick your nose into business which does not concern you. But naughty little girls such as you never do learn, huh? You cross the old fisherman's cottage as though in a dream, then reach for the handle of the door. Oof. The handle depresses easily enough beneath your grasping fingers and door opens with a click. I mean, obviously the doors would make noise there. The rest of the world yawns before you, frowned in the doorway, all of it bathed in moonlight.
It's a full moon, guys. Wow. It only happens once a month.
You thought it was cold inside the old cottage, but it is colder still now that the door is open. An unpleasant wind rushes forth to meet you, knifing mercilessly through the fabric of your uniform. You look across the cold, inhospitable landscape, your fingers clenched, the fists at your sides. Then you step out into the unknown. You canvass the cliff face, led by nothing more than that luxurious singing. So haunting and ethereal is this voice, as it hangs on the breeze, it would be enough to send 1,000 ships off to war. You keep walking the night until you reach the very edge of the cliffs, where they drop downwards into the empty air. You ought not to go any further, but the voice has yet to cease. You can still hear it, echoing inside of your head. It compels you to act. You look down the shore, which seems like a dizzying distance away, then out to the ocean, which is breaking against the scattered rocks below. Your eyes narrow with determination. Then you take a step towards the cliff. Wait, just the matter, girl. These cliffs are steep and the rocks below them are sharp. You can see them glinting in the darkness, their tips jagged like the teeth of hungry predators. The cold wind blows, rocking your hair, and you shudder from it. Your shoes were not built for scaling cliffs, and your heels do not have much in the way of purchase, particularly not when the cliffs are so steep. Clinging on the cliffs is no small feat, yet you are determined to ease yourself down to the shore, in one piece, preferably. The wind is so powerful, it feels as though there is something deliberately malicious to it. You wonder, during your descent, if it means to knock you off your perch on purpose? To cast you down to the rocks below? Well, if that is what it wants, then you refuse to give it a satisfaction. You can be awfully stubborn at times, and now is one of them. You continue to climb. Climb? How long have you been at it now? Until at long last your feet meet the shoreline below. Then, wait, climb? I thought that the climb kind of didn't fit over here. I mean, we are going down, right? So you've made it, and you did not sustain too many injuries. Your palms are throbbing, yes, after gripping those rocks, and you might have a few cuts, but your wounds are of a shallow and superficial sort. Things could have been worse. Much worse. You flex your fingers. They feel uncomfortably numb and cold alongside it. Your skin is prickling, but at least you can still feel discomfort. At least it is still attached to your bones, where it ought to be, your vital organs concealed within the hollow cavity of your body. You have a lot to be thankful for. This night has, by and large, been quite successful. There are no longer any obstacles between you and the mysterious voice which lulled you outdoors. Uh-oh. Now we must find them. You set off down the shore, on the hunt of the singing voice which has captivated you so. You sidestep sharp, jagged rocks which jut out of the sand like teeth. The rocks which cannot be circumnavigated, meanwhile you clamber over. All the while the sound of the sea mingles with that of the singing. It provides an ethereal, haunting backdrop to exploration, one which further adds to the surreality of your moonlight stroll. The waves lap against the shore, then recede shyly, pushed and pulled by the bleached white moon which hangs overhead. The oceans that you have seen in your library books were all blue as sapphires, but this ocean is different. It is so late at night, it looks black instead. The undulating surface of the water reminds you of a mirror, for its depths are even deeper and much more mysterious. A sense of foreboding settles upon you, but you try to quash it. You will not let yourself be afraid. Oh no. Oh no. Girl, you are in trouble. Run for your life. Oh no. How did I not realize this is where this is going? You round the corner, your feet unsteady in their sensible brown shoes, and then, at long last, you see her. There is a woman sitting up on a rock, out in the ocean. The woman's eyes are closed and her lips are parted, her expression soulful. She's singing. Please don't make me sing, don't make me sing, game, don't make me sing. Her hair, which is fair, flutters around her face like a shroud, which adds to her otherworldly aura. Her eyes might be closed, but her lashes are long and luxuriant, like a doll's. Okay. Ow! Her lips, meanwhile, which are parted in song, are soft, like the freshly plucked petals of a flower. Her face is perfect, as are her proportions. Okay. Okay. That's your opinion, okay? I might have a different one. Her neck is tall and slender, like the stem of a flower. Doesn't change the fact that she's a beauty here. But, well, I know where this is going already. We all should know by now. As for the lower half of her body, meanwhile... well... it is nothing like anything you've ever seen before. It is here, and here alone, that the woman betrays your narrow human definition of beauty, for her legs are non-existent. Rather than two awkward appendages, this woman has instead the sleek, shimmering tail of a fish. Is she not then a human? She cannot be, not with a tail like that. This unusual sight makes you gasp, and quite audibly at that. You do not mean to be rude, but you cannot help yourself. Humans tend to react poorly to things they do not understand. At least do not scream. That would be even ruder. Oh my. You meant to observe their mermaid from a distance, but it would appear that your shocked gasp was loud enough to attract her attention. The fish-shelled vision sitting up on the rock is looking at you. Her gaze is so piercing, it feels almost as if she's looking through you. Your heart seems to stop inside your chest, as if by some manner of magical spell. You thought the mermaid pretty when you first observed her, sitting on that outcrop of rock, her face turned in profile. Now she's looking at you, however, you can see that you are mistaken. What? How? What? Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean pretty? What do you mean you were mistaken? She's not just pretty. She's... okay. Fair enough. She's beautiful, so much so it is almost unnerving. She looks as though she has stepped out of the pages of a picture book. She's simply too perfect to belong to this world. Perhaps she's some kind of vision, a waking dream, a hallucination. But no, she's none of those things. Her tail might be an impossible thing, but its scales look sleek and wet regardless, like those of any fishes one might find at the market. These scales are iridescent, and buffed beneath the light of the moon, they seem almost to glow. The sight of her rather takes your breath away. You look at the mermaid. She looks back at you. You prepare yourself expecting some sort of altercation, but the surprise soon fades from the mermaid's face. Her lips, which once were pursed in a frown, now shift upwards. She's smiling? Then she says in a refined sort of voice, My,
It really is good to see a human again. Particularly a human girl. I was beginning to fear that your kind had all disappeared, and I would no longer have anybody left to tell me of the world above the waters.
My, that's quite a fuzzy greeting. The mermaid's introductory speech is positively brimming with excitement of a sweet girlish variety. She's rather more amicable than the fine polish of her syllables would make one suggest. You might be a well-bred lady yourself with an accent too much, but oh please no, I can't do accents. But you cannot help but feel overwhelmed. One anxiously observe the mermaid and you ask her what she means? What happened?
As to that, I'm afraid I cannot say. I've been sitting on these rocks and singing for many nights, but nobody has come to see me. There have been no lovely humans for me to play with. I was beginning to wonder whether your kind had disappeared altogether. I feared some manner of calamity had occurred while I was slumbering beneath the water's surface, and your kind had been eradicated.
You shudder, then reassure the mermaid to the contrary. You don't know about the humans that she used to speak with, but you at least have not been eradicated. You are still here.
Yes, well, I can see that.
The mermaid answers with a light laugh.
It really is a relief. My fellow mer people who live beneath the water told me not to worry so, but I could not help myself. I always been fond of you humans. It was rather sobering sitting here night after night, all on my own. It gets so lonely here.
She said the title, guys! She said the title! Now, that is an interesting turn of phrase. It catches inside your hand like a burr. Have you heard it before?
So, dear human, did you say that you are unfamiliar with these parts?
Did she? Hesitantly you examine the mermaid. Thoughtless though you might be, at times you are not so very self-centered that you cannot detect the note of longing in the mermaid's voice. It is evident, as she looks at you, that she is hoping for a particular answer to her query. The answer, alas, is not one that you can furnish her with. You do not want to lie to her. It is after some hesitation, therefore, that you reaffirm your earlier words, for this time you embellish them. You tell the mermaid that you are a traveler from a far-off land, one which is very dissimilar to this one. It is not a complete fabrication, by the way. You tell her that you have only just arrived by this shore, and you are unfamiliar both with your immediate surroundings and those further afield. If there is a village nearby, then you have never set foot in it. You do not know what this village is like, nor how many inhabitants it boasts. You do not know if a calamity, as the mermaid grimly supposed, has struck this land. But if she fears all the humans within the immediate vicinity have been laid low by some mysterious malady, then she needn't worry overly on that score, yeah. You are still alive. Are you not, you wonder? Enough to satiate her curiosity with the human realm.
Yeah, that is true. You are here. I'm grateful naturally for your company, although...
Wistfully the mermaid sighs.
I was rather hoping you might be able to bring me some news of the nearby village and of its inhabitants.
Oh. Could it be that I could have done that if I did a different choice with the choice? One option was a village, the other was a castle, right? Out of the three. Oh, damn it. I might have made a mistake. Was there a particular person from this village she was close to?
Oh, so you were able to work out that much out.
The mermaid answered with a small smile.
You are an intelligent one, aren't you?
Your past professors would beg to differ on that score. You were always awful when it came to academics. Mathematics in particular. You could never get your head around all the numbers. Your stern, stony-faced math professor used to despair in you. But she's not here. None of them are here. It is just you now, and the mermaid, and she does not need to know about your dismal academic record. You allow yourself a small smile, touched by her compliment, and tell her that it was nothing more than a lucky guess.
Ha! For a guess, it was remarkably accurate. You're quite right. I did have a close friend from the nearby village. She was very dear to me.
In turn, you congratulate yourself on this piece of detective work.
Woo!
How very clever you are.
Ah, there are many humans in this world. Of that I know. The human who spoke with me, however, was special. She was my human.
Oh. You do not fail to catch the possessive note in the mermaid's voice. Oh.
And I cherished her dearly. She would come to me on my rock late at night when she was finished with her chores, and we would talk. Ask her a good number of questions about the human realm and about her customs. I fear my endless inquiries must have been rather tedious, but she was always happy to indulge me. She never once scorned me for my ignorance, and neither did she make me feel like a fool. She always made time for me, no matter how many demands she had on her time. She was a farmer's daughter, and she was awfully busy from dawn until dusk, threshing hay and taking the animals out to pasture. She told me of her work, and I marveled at her. Slender for she was, she possessed a truly tremendous amount of strength. I, who have lived in the ocean of my life, cannot countenance working as hard as she did, but she bore her burdens without complaining.
I mean, to be fair, if she was working on the farm, basically, then she would be strong, yeah. That's really a case, to be fair.
She was not the preppiest human,
Wow.
who has walked the earth, but that mattered not to me.
Nice.
Her conversation was engaging, and I knew, through our continued encounters, that she meant no ill will. She did not even have a single drop of malice in her heart.
The wistful manner in which the mermaid speaks of her friend makes you feel, for a few brief moments, a flicker of some ugly, primordial emotion. Could it be jealousy? Maybe a bit. It is painful, isn't it, to hear others wax poetic about those they hold dear, particularly when you yourself have never been regarded in so intimate a manner. You have for many, many years been woefully alone. But you are not alone now. You are with the mermaid, and she is with you. And though she might prefer to be in the company of an industrious farmhand, the farmhand is not here. Where did she go?
Oh, if only I knew. She quite simply disappeared one day, almost as if she had been whisked away by a wicked spirit.
Maybe she was married to someone, to be fair. Yeah. Somehow I feel in this game might be in the times, set in the times where that could have been a possibility. That seems like quite the anticlimactic ending for such a close relationship. Did the farmhand not tell her companion beforehand that she might one day disappear?
No, she did not. Nothing of the sort happened. It was all very sudden.
I wonder if I asked that out loud, if she's able to read my mind, or our protagonist's mind. So you ask, feeling affronted upon the mermaid's behalf, did she not give you any warning?
Not a single one.
And when you ask, did she disappear?
I do not know, in truth. Time is a strange concept to beings such as myself, particularly as it seems to ebb and flow differently both above and below the surface.
Oh.
You humans have a strange compulsion to pin it down and to place labels upon everything. You have names for your seasons, and for your months, and even for your days of the week. It is all very precise.
Yeah. To be fair, if it was actually really precise, it would be divided in a better way. But what ifs?
We merfolk, however, do not bother with such affairs, perhaps because we live for so much longer than you humans do.
What do you mean by that? So I guess she might have ascended to heaven, that girl she knew as well.
We have no need to obsessively document our days, not when we have so many of them at our disposal.
This curious remark catches your attention. How long exactly do mermaids live for? The mermaid does not look much older than you do, but you cannot help but wonder. Oh, that's a cute smile, yeah. But technically she's kinda laughing, I guess.
My nosy, aren't we?
The mermaid asks, and she laughs, a soft tinkling sound like that of a bell, which makes you blush. Were you being nosy? Perhaps. You've always had a thirst for knowledge. Not of the dry, dusty, academic variety, but of stories people with strange persons. Literature was the only subject you were ever any good at.
Again, it is hard for me to quantify. But to put it in terms a human like you can understand, I suppose we mermaids can live for centuries.
Damn.
Centuries?
That is quite a surprise. But perhaps it shouldn't be. You've been subjected to any number of surprises tonight. What with one more to add to the pile?
I have not been waiting quite that long, however, for my friend to return to me. I think it has been but a few seasons. It might not sound like much, but never before have I been so aware of the passage of time. I've experienced a number of wants during my life, but I had never wanted anything quite as badly as I want to see her. I wish she would sit with me, and she would talk to me. Just one more time. But perhaps I'm asking for an impossibility. I've been waiting for long enough now to presume that she will not be returning to me. I fear that something must have happened to her, or to her family, or perhaps to her whole village.
You can hear the worry throbbing in the mermaid's voice. So potent that, for a few moments, you swear you can feel the depths of her sorrow within your own breast.
Oh.
Her sadness over this human girl is deep, dark thing, almost fathomless. You cannot let yourself indulge in it for too long. Otherwise you fear you might drown in it. Ruefully, you tell the maid once more that you cannot help her. You are only a traveler, after all. I mean, if we travel to the village... What do you know of a single insignificant farmhead in a nearby village?
Yeah, I thought you might say that. It is quite unfortunate, but... well. I ought not to reflect upon all of that I'm missing. That would be churlish of me, and it would not be fair to you either. You do not approach me, I'm sure, with the hope of hearing about all my woes. I should be grateful, instead, for all that this I do have. I still have my long, long life, which stares before me like a golden cord. And of course, I have you now.
Does she? What?
Do I not? I ought to go soon, before my absence is noticed, but will you not come and visit me again tomorrow night? I think I would like that. I've always enjoyed speaking to humans. You make me feel less alone.
You cannot help but feel, as the mermaid observes you with those enchanting eyes of hers, that she does not really wish to speak to you for your sake. She wants to use you instead as a substitute for the farmhand that she's been missing so very ardently. The thought stings, for you really ought to be used to it. Still, to be held in lower esteem than a farmhand for things. Oi, don't look down on people working on farms, come on. Those people have the cash, by the way. It makes your self-esteem stink. And they are ridiculously hardworking if you think about it as well. You try not to let the mermaid notice this though. The woes of your past are not her fault, much as the woes of her past are not yours. It is silly, in any case, to be jealous of a girl who might very well be dead. That is what you tell yourself. It is the only way to prop up your bruised sense of self-worth. You would. You tell the mermaid after a pause, like to see her again. You would like that very much.
Oh, thank you. I've been feeling very gloomy for quite some time, but seeing you has invigorated me. Finally, it feels as though I can smile again.
Did she not smile, you wonder, after her friend disappeared?
I did not know. I did not have a heart. Without her the world seemed very dull and drab. Your company has cheered me immensely. This is why I like humans so much. You are not callous and unfeeling like the merfolk who lives beneath the water's surface. You are much kinder than they are.
Oh, if only she knew. If the mermaid was aware, I wonder of how petty you are and how jealous, would she still care for you? Well, that is neither here nor there. You agree to meet with the mermaid come sundown the following night, then make your slow stumbling way back up the cliffs, then to the cottage you have purloined as your own. Once inside you settle down on your pallet and then you close your eyes. The sighing of the wind outside and the distant roiling of the waves against the rocks do not disturb you. You feel after your midnight encounter of a merrish kind, quite at ease, perhaps prematurely so. What happened to the icy fear which prompted your frantic flight through the forest? Where has all that gone? Do you not think you are being a bit complacent? No? Huh? Ah, well. You will. But maybe you will in the next episode, because this is where we'll cut it. Yeah. We'll see where this is all going tomorrow. Gee. With that little save spot, I probably will need to override this one. Yada. Alright. I'm very aware that this game is going to be quite, I guess, lengthier than some of the games we've played recently. I don't know exactly how long, how lengthy for. We'll see. We will see. I do know that for today, that's it. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep, yeah. Just like our character did. She's actually still sleeping. Yeah. The narrator has not started speaking yet, so it's all fine. Anywho, if you want to see more over here, consider liking the video, subscribing and so on. Always appreciate it. Very much. And I wish you a wonderful day. And maybe if you run into a mermaid, well, if you know the histories of mermaids, maybe it's better, run. Yeah. With that being said, let's end it for today. Again, hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.